Hare Krishna, everyone. A warm welcome back again to our ongoing series on the glories of our most beloved Sri Vrindavan Dham. Thank you for being with us. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pasvita Deshatarane. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, we are continuing with our mini-series on Stimulation for Ecstatic Love, and this will be part 27. In our last class, we discussed extensively about Krishna's smile, Krishna's beautiful smile. So I thought it would be appropriate today to speak about his eternal consort, Vrindavan Eshwari, Srimati Radharani's smile. And I'm sure that you'll be as eager to hear about it as I am to speak about it. In his purport to Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.4, Srila Prabhupada writes that, quote, "In topics about Krishna consciousness, there must be a speaker and a hearer, both of whom are interested in Krishna consciousness," unquote. Now, because the subject matter is so sublime, anything in Krishna consciousness, both the speaker and the listeners relish. So to begin with, Srimati Radharani's smile has a similarity to everyone's smile in Sri Vrindavan Dham, including her beloved Krishna. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, northern section, wave 1, we read, when describing these 6 kinds of Krishna's smiles, Rupa Goswami writes, quote, "The classification of smiles given here in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu remains the same for all residents in the spiritual world." Really important. The classification of smiles given here in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu remains the same for all residents of the spiritual world. But surely Sri Radha's smile is extra special. How is that? Because she possesses the topmost love for Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 4.131, Kaviraj Goswami makes it very clear. He writes, "All glories to Radha's love for Krishna, the enemy of the demon Mura. Although it is all-pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. And although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity." So she possesses the deepest love, so her smile must be especially nice. But to further understand Sri Radha's smile, we can hear from Srila Prabhupada, who told my godbrother Shyama Prabhu in a conversation they were having about the evolutionists, Thomas Huxley, Henry Bergson, and Samuel Alexander, I was reading it, that Radharani's smile is one of the 64 arts, which also include dancing and cooking. The purpose and effect of any or all of those arts is simply to make Krishna happy, to make Krishna happy. So therein, we see that Radharani's smile is a stimuli in arousing Krishna's love for her. Now in Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka 3.179, Krishna himself admits the power of Sri Radha's smile. He says, "Sri Radha is very beautiful when she covers her face with her sari. The little I see of her smile is like liquid camphor filtered through a finely woven cloth." Ujjwala Nilamani 15.119 states that Krishna is always eager to see Sri Radha's smile, especially when her smile signals that she is no longer angry with him. Therein it's stated, Srimati Vrindadevi once said to Krishna, "Angry Radharani heard the Gopi messenger say, when the charming nectar autumn moon bathed the forest on the Jamuna shore with splendid moonlight, angry Radharani suddenly became pacified, and the luster of her smile indicated that she had become pleased with you. Hare Krishna. Now, Radharani's maidservants, who rarely leave her side for a moment, are well aware of the effect of her love on Krishna. In Govinda Lilamrita 1188, we hear, in praising her princess, a gopi once described Radha's smile in this way: the desire vine of Hari's qualities grows in the garden of Radha's heart and flowers in the form of her smile. Furthermore, it's written, the soothing effect of her cooling smile, the moonlight of her face, shames the material moon in this universe and transforms Krishna day by day into an increasingly thirsty chakora bird. What to speak of her smile pleasing Krishna, it continuously enlivens her maidservants. Shastras describe that, I found this, it's so nice. The budding of her gentle smile lights up the 10 directions and nourishes her swan-like friends, who blossom with love for her and sing of her unlimited glories with angelic voices. Isn't that nice? So her smile has an all-pervasive effect in Vrindavan. Actually, it's a well-known fact that the effulgence of her smile makes Vrindavan's creepers grow, its flowers blossom, its stones melt, and all manners of birds and beasts happy by singing her praises. They become happy by singing her praises. Now, I found one acharya, he writes that Radha and Krishna's different qualities combine together to make the divine couple perfect in every way. He writes, Krishna, the form of beauty, he says, is dashing, clever, witty, and full of joy. And Sri Radha, the form of love, he says, is soft but cunning, submissive but contrary, cool and warm, and best compared to a sweet camphor-scented smile. Sweet camphor-scented smile. All glories to Sri Radha's smile. So today, I would like to share a really beautiful pastime concerning Sri Radha's smile by a famous Vrindavan poet whose name was Sri Ram Rai Das. I've quoted him before, I think 2 years ago. Sri Ram Rai Das. He actually was a contemporary of the well-known poet, one of my heroes, Surdas, whom we often quote and refer to. Surdas's samadhi again is out at Chanda Sarovara, and I've visited there many times for inspiration. And this pastime is found in Sri Ram Rai Das's Raga Kalyana. I found it in the Vrindavan Research Institute, had part of it translated, and just came across this gem. So therein he describes that once Madhu Mangal called Krishna in a loud voice from the top of Govardhan Hill. Just in your mind's eye, there's Madhu Mangal on top of Govardhan Hill. And he's calling in a loud voice to Krishna. He shouted, O Kanai, please help us. Vishal and Stoka are trying their best to control your cows and take them back to the Goshala of Nanda Maharaj, but are unable to do so. So they called me. But I have tried all my super Brahminical powers, but nothing is working. All your cows are just dancing in ecstasy and running wild. Krishna, don't delay. I can see you hiding on top of a kadamba tree, writing a letter to your beloved gopis. But Krishna, don't be a lover in times of responsibility. All your loving affairs shouldn't affect your service to Maharaj Nanda. Oh, you with a dark cloud complexion, please do something. Otherwise I can see these cows are going in the direction of Vrishabhanupura, which means Varshana. So with that, Krishna smiled at Madhu Mangal from afar. while on this highest branch of a kadamba tree. Then he started playing his flute in 3 different melodies. And suddenly all the cows who were running wildly everywhere, they stopped. And what did they do? They simply stared at Krishna in the tree. It's described like a person stares at a beautiful painting. Like, whoa. So they all gathered together like bees, another description, surrounding a lotus flower as it opens. So Krishna jumped from the top of that tree and onto the ground. And then he just started walking in front of the cows towards Nandagram with Madhu Mangal on one side and the cowherd boys Vishal and Stoka on the other side. Now, far away in Nandagram, Mother Yasoda was ecstatic, seeing Krishna coming back home from a great distance. So she immediately ordered her maidservants, "Dear Gopis, please spread spring in Vrindavan." I like that. Please spread spring in Vrindavan for welcoming my Krishna. Tell Indra to send his Aryavata elephant to sprinkle nectar on the ground. There should be roses blossoming for Krishna all the way home. And make sure bliss is residing everywhere. Make sure bliss is residing everywhere. All glories to Vrindavan. So, saying that, Mother Yasoda turned to her maidservant and asked her to support her because her body was shivering in the ecstasy of Vatsalya Rasa. The description is that tears poured from her eyes, tears of love poured from her eyes, and her body was perspiring. Her breasts were heavy with milk, and her head was spinning in bliss. Then suddenly, Krishna blew his buffalo horn. Remember, we had a class about buffalo horns. Krishna blew his buffalo horn, which reverberated throughout the entire Vrindavan landscape. And gopis could be seen everywhere, rushing to gather paraphernalia to welcome Krishna back home. This goes on every evening, actually, remember. And each time it happens, the devotees, the Brajabasis, feel like it's the first time. It's really, we talk about, in the spirit, in Vrindavan, every word is a song, every step is a dance, and there's a festival every day. Well, this is the festival, when Krishna comes home after herding the cows all day long. So the sounds of these gopis, the sounds of their thousands of ankle bells, it's described, combined with the sound of Krishna's buffalo horn, making a wonderful symphony, which won over the hearts of all the Gandharvas watching down from Gandharva Loka. And actually, the poet describes an ocean of bliss started flowing in the narrow alleyways of Vrindavan. And the sound of drums, horns, and flutes caused an heroic emotion in everyone. Heroic emotion in everyone. So then very soon in the distance, all the Brajabasis could see 900,000 eager cows running home. Just in your mind's eye, just imagine 900,000 cows running home, making the whole earth dance in ecstasy. Everyone started shouting, "Let's go see Krishna's evening procession. Let's go see Krishna's evening procession. He's coming home. Krishna's coming home." Then, as Krishna entered the Vrindavan village, all the gopis looked down at Krishna from their windows, and they showered him with fragrant flowers. Now, Mother Yasoda was the first one, right out front. She was right out front, the first one to welcome Krishna home. And as he came, she gave him a loving embrace. And she said to him, "Oh, my dear son, now please take this golden bucket. It's newly made and embedded with gems and minerals. Please take it and now milk your favorite cows." So what? Why? So that I can make bubbles for you out of milk. Wow. So that I can make bubbles for you out of milk. The mysteries of Vrindavan. So Krishna, he became very excited. And kissing his mother's cheek, he ran with that golden bucket to the Goshaw for the, how could you say, the evening milking of the cows. And upon reaching the Goshaw, he sat down and started preparing for milking. When suddenly he saw Sri Radha, who was on her way to visit Mother Yasoda, passing by. So tightening his waist belt, adjusting his turban, he stood up and he walked a few steps towards her. But while standing before one another, Radha and Krishna were unable to speak because of the presence of their elders. Instead, they started talking with their eyes. They started talking with their eyes. Now Krishna wanted to embrace Sri Radha, but instead he held Subalsaka tightly for a long time because, well, the elders were there, while looking into the eyes of Sri Radha. And while Krishna gazed at her, Sri Radha showed her, the poet says, her first smile. Her first smile. Then Krishna, because he couldn't actually embrace Radha because the elders are there, he kissed the cheek of Subal while looking into Sri Radha's eyes. Now with that, Radha responded with a second smile. Then Krishna said, my dear Subal, just look at this beautiful smile of Sri Radha. Because of it, I'm losing all power in my arms. I'm losing all the power in my arms. I'm supposed to milk the cows. Please help me to remember my duties. So then Subal handed Krishna the golden bucket. But unable to remove his eyes from Sri Radha's smile, Krishna sat with it while reaching out for the udder of a cow. He was unable to remove his eyes from Radha's smile. So he sat with that bucket, and reached out for the udder of a cow. But as he started milking, no milk was coming. Then suddenly Mother Yasoda, she arrived at the Goshala, anxious that Krishna was taking too long to milk the cows. So there she saw Sri Radha smiling at Krishna with all her love, and Krishna, lost in the beauty of Radha's smile, was trying to milk a bull. He was lost in the beauty of Radha's smile. Therefore, he was trying to milk a bull. So smiling, a lot of smiles here, smiling, Yasoda clapped in front of Krishna's eyes, and turning to Sri Radha, she said, "Oh, beautiful Radha, come with me now, and let Krishna continue to milk this bull." So seeing this fun, all the cowherd boys and cowherd girls who were gathered there, they started laughing as the divine couple continued smiling at each other, looking in each other's eyes, smiling. So Sri Rama Rai says, it's really nice, "I sacrifice all my desires for the smile of Sri Radha, which makes the Lord forget his duties and causes the three worlds to dance in ecstasy." Our thanks to that poet. Hare Krishna. So we'll conclude today with the pastime that my dear godbrother, Srivaram Swami, describes so beautifully in his magnum opus. What is his magnum opus? I consider it to be his Navabraja Mahima, wherein Srimati Radharani receives a letter from Krishna. Radharani has received a letter from Krishna. This pastime begins as follows. Looking again at the letter in her hands, Radha trembled, perspired, and cried tears of joy as she slowly unrolled it, and then read with a trembling voice. Krishna has written her, "O beautiful princess of Varshana, from the day I first saw you, my life changed. I was, after all, a carefree cowherd boy playing in the fields of Braja, but now I'm held captive with a tiny hope that you may bless me with a casual, sidelong glance. My friends try to console me, not knowing the reason I'm so morose. But I find solace in the image of your smile, your complexion, your hair, and your matchlessly beautiful form. O Radha, your transcendental beauty is a reflection of your heart. That which is within you is revealed by your peerless form. Without you, I have no life. What wings are to a bird, what the sun is to the world, what the soul is to the body, you are to me. If you think I should live, if you think I deserve to see you in person, then meet me by the bank of the Jamuna, beneath the Kadamba trees, where cuckoos sing and bees hum. Please, Sri Radha, allow me to serve you, for you are the queen of my heart. My Radharani, my worshipable deity, I am your servant eternally. With that, Sri Radha fell silent and placed the letter gently on her lap. With her face turned down, an uncontrollable smile suddenly appeared on her lips. The kind of smile her friends had not seen for many days. Suddenly raising her head and looking around, she said excitedly, "He has accepted me! He has accepted me! He has accepted me! Oh, my friends, I must meet Krishna by the Jamuna tonight. Please help me to look my very best." Hare Krishna. Another wonderful pastime with her smile. That's all I could find on smiles about Krishna and Sri Radha. I'm sure there's more because, well, they're eternally smiling pastimes in Sri Vrindavan Dham, but I've been very happy to share all of that with you. Again, I hope that when your deities open up the next morning, you're in the temple, and the other day we said, look at Krishna's smile. Now you can look at Radha's smile and be so much inspired. So thank you, and we're going to move on next week to another item, or you could say subject, or more like a personality, to hear about them, as a stimuli for awakening our love for the divine couple. And what could that be? There's a drum roll here. What could that be? You'll be very happy to know we're going to talk about Krishna's cows, because they also act as a stimuli for awakening our love for the divine couple, Krishna, Balaram, all of Vrindavan. So I've been researching kind of off to the side for a few weeks because it's something I really wanted to research and talk about. So I think we're going to get maybe 2 or 3 classes about Krishna's cows. So please join us. Thank you once again for this opportunity. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, the revealer of the dawn. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Radha Shama Sundar ki, Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharmani and her smile ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Krishna Sankirtan Yagya ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Jai Jai Sri Sri Radhe.